Hey guys, welcome to another video. Shadowlands is coming out very soon, and today I wanted to talk to you about why I think Druids are one of the best classes when it comes to PvP. Druids have always been a fun class to play, and I think one of their main strengths is often considered to be one of their main weaknesses. They're usually considered a decent all-rounder that doesn't really excel in any one area, but that isn't always true. Druids are one of the best PvP classes to play for a number of reasons. So in this video we're going to go over why that is and in what areas they do excel, and why I think you should definitely consider playing a Druid as we head into Shadowlands if you want to do well in PvP and have fun. Before we get into it, keep in mind this is only my opinion and I'm not bashing any other classes, I'm just letting you know why I think Druids are one of the best choices when it comes to picking a class, especially if you want to focus on PvP and have fun at the same time. First off, Druids are very versatile. They can quickly adapt to any situation and have a lot of different playstyles to experiment with, which can be a lot of fun and allow you to play in many different ways. Want to be a hard-hitting caster and kill enemies off from a distance? Go balance and you'll destroy your enemies from afar. Want to assassinate players one by one or simply get up close and personal? Feral is great for that with hard-hitting attacks and high burst damage. You even have the ability to go into stealth and turn invisible like a rogue. Want to be one of the best healers in the game with a ton of survivability and utility? Go resto and you'll be able to heal yourself or friends while evading enemies like a really annoying Tracer, Genji or Mei if you play Overwatch. Druids also have a ton of CC abilities, so you can root your enemies in place or stun them no matter what spec you might be playing. Versatility is a major strength of the class, as if you're gonna level a character to max level anyway, if you change your mind and want to play a caster instead of a melee DPS, you can do just that without having to re-roll your entire class. Druids are also a jack of all trades, which, like I said in my previous WoW video a while back, is often better than a master at one thing. A jack of all trades but a master of none isn't always worse than a master of one thing, and it's often actually a lot better. So apart from the versatility you get with Druids in general, what else is there? Well, for one, they excel in world PvP and Battlegrounds. This goes for all specs but especially Feral. If you're out in the world leveling up or questing and you see an enemy or two, you get an opportunity most classes in the game don't get. You get the opportunity to decide what's gonna happen next. This is because you have Prowl, the ability to turn invisible like a rogue. Want to avoid enemies? You can do that. Want to sneak up and attack the enemies? You can do that too. The choice is yours. This goes the same for Battlegrounds and even Arena to an extent. You can pick your battles and single out enemies or simply avoid them if you want to. It's all up to you. And you can have a lot of fun assassinating one or two enemy players at a time without them even expecting an attack. Feral will probably be your best bet for this assassination style of play, but you can do the same thing as a hard-hitting balanced Druid too, which can also be a ton of fun. You can just sneak up on an enemy, get into the right range, quickly come out of stealth and start casting massive, hard-hitting spells at them when they least expect it. They had no idea someone was watching them, waiting for them, maybe even following them, so you can have a lot of fun with that, and that truly is something that most classes can't do. When it comes to Battlegrounds, you can do the same thing, and always be useful to your team. Again, you have a lot of options here. You could play like a rogue, assassinating people left, right and center, or as a hard-hitting spellcaster with single target damage or AoE. You could be a healer for your team, healing everyone and staying alive, evading enemies and really helping your team out a lot. Or you could even be a flag carrier, changing forms as you run flags from point to point. Druids are actually considered to be one of the best flag carrier classes in the game. You can't be polymorphed, you can tank and take a lot of damage, heal yourself and evade enemies easily by swapping in and out of different forms while laying healing overtime spells on yourself and even CCing enemies with Cyclone, Bash and Entangling Roots. Some people play as a Druid just to be the sole flag carrier and it can be so much fun. Even with as much damage as Druids have, you can always get away from a fight pretty easily to heal yourself back up before jumping back into it, which a lot of other classes can't really do either. So whether you're playing as a Feral or a balanced Druid, it's always possible to heal yourself back up if you can CC an enemy or get away from them for just a few seconds. This makes them really great, especially in situations where you're up against more than one enemy player at a time. Your CCs can hold an enemy back while you take one down, and along with your evasion tactics, allow you to heal yourself back up before engaging the second or even third enemy. Druids are a great class when it comes to 1v1, 1v2 or even 1v3 situations if you're good enough and know what you're doing. The class has a high skill cap and you can really excel if you learn your class well and have good game sense. When it comes to dueling, Druids are actually pretty good and can beat many other classes in a 1v1, especially as a feral Druid. In arenas, they can also hold their own and are often considered to be one of the best healers, but they can do pretty well as feral or balanced too. If you're looking to be the highest rated arena player, then you can look into each and every class and set up more and see what new metas get established in Shadowlands, but Druids are a solid pick in most cases with the right setup. As if this all wasn't enough, when it comes to PvE, if that's your thing, Druids can easily fit any role when doing dungeons to level up. Again, just like in PvP, you can choose whether to be a healer, a tank, or a melee, or even ranged DPS. You have a lot of choices all built into one class. This can help you find groups fast if you don't mind being a tank or a healer, especially when it comes to leveling up. And while Druids aren't the best in PvE, they're definitely capable of pulling their own weight, whatever role you choose. In PvP, they truly shine. All this, at endgame at least, does require you to get the correct gear for your chosen spec, which can take a lot of time. But you don't have to go leveling up a whole new character when you decide that you'd rather be a healer than a tank, or a melee DPS over a spellcaster. You can change your playstyle a lot more easily playing as a Druid. It is also worth noting that Druids just got a major buff in the most recent patch of 8% extra damage to all abilities, which is crazy. Druids were already pretty powerful and could deal a massive amount of burst damage as well as consistent damage, and now that's all been increased by 8%. Druids are one of the best classes for PvP in the game, and they're shaping up to be just as relevant, if not more than they have been in a while, in Shadowlands. And for what it's worth, they're considered by many players to be one of the most fun classes too. Now keep in mind, I'm not saying Druids are the absolute best PvP class, that's not what I've been saying at all. I'm only saying that they're definitely good in PvP and in the right hands can be truly amazing, not to mention fun. If you do a 1v1 comparison with every class, you'd find that they're pretty high up there and aren't as bad as many people believe. They're actually pretty great in PvP, and I'd recommend taking a deeper dive into the class and what it can offer before choosing what class you want to play or just disregarding Druids as a whole. So what do you think about Druids? Do you agree with me or do you have maybe a completely different opinion? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like it and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.